Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for the subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is a broad spectrum collective reading for all signs. It is originally created for Monday the 17th of April, but it's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date, I do believe readings can be timeless, and we'll find this when we need them. So if the reading makes sense to your situation, by all means, please utilize it. If the reading doesn't make sense, it doesn't seem to connect, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there is some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm utilizing in the reading, how to follow me on social media if you want to request a private reading. Know that I will never hit you up or try and initiate a sale of a private reading. You have to reach out to me either via my Instagram or my Facebook business page. And most importantly, easy ways to support the channel. You can do so by hitting the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell because I do put up daily content. Sharing the video out, leaving me a question or comment if the reading resonates, or if you have, a question. I do read them all and appreciate them all. And I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning energy, so that's the weekly reading. It's another layer underneath it. So if you hear me referencing cards that you don't see here, as a rule, I'm usually going back to that reading and adding that layer in. So you can see that video. It populates in the lower left-hand corner of this video at the end. All right, so let's get into this and see what the cards want us to know, what they want us to be aware of at this time. All right, our card for the day is, the Magician. Get it, Santa Claus. Card number 1. Feeling rather empowered, are we? The Magician is a very creative card. I'm going to say that right out of the gate. This is about kind of taking everything that we have and putting it to good use, right? Making the most out of our resources and kind of channeling them in such a way that we can create sort of desired outcomes or the things that we want. Now, what's interesting to me is underpinning this from the Sunday reading is that Ace of Cups. So I think that this is going to, even though this is a creative card, I think that we're being driven by our emotions underpinning this. A newfound emotion, a newfound revelation or realization of what it is we want or how it is we want it, and taking control of that, taking control of the creation of that. Control is a funny word because we can't necessarily control things, but there's a high level of manifestation with the Magician. There's a high level of connectivity, of empowerment, of being able to kind of, I don't know if manipulate is the right word, but I'm going to use manipulate the sort of energies to make happen what it is that we feel like we desire, want, or need. The Magician always has access to all 4 elements, earth, air, fire, and water, right? And he knows how to kind of mix them, or the appropriate amounts of what to use to sort of make magic happen or make the impossible seem possible. This guy, I'm just going to say, he looks, granted in my camera, he looks a little bit cross-eyed, or he looks like he's rolling his eyes at us. I don't know if you guys see that. But when I'm looking at him, he's staring me dead on. There's a sense of determination in his face. I think it's the lighting in here that makes him look like he's just like, whatever, Mary. But he actually is looking straight on. Let me bring it closer. I don't know if you can see it. And that mark above his head, the moon, right there on his, what would be kind of in between his third eye and his knowing, is there's a high spiritual sort of awareness, wisdom that we are working from. And I also think that that wisdom stems from this Ace of Cups, the emotions that we're feeling, the indications emotionally that are sort of putting us in a position where we know it's time to sort of shift gears, take action, begin to create, lay plans, start to set out a map or a plan as to how we want to go about creating whatever it is that we are feeling or desiring through our feelings, right? This is definitely a card of manifestation. So with that Ace of Cups underpinning this, how we're feeling is going to be very important in what and how we create. And this card feels very, like I said, determined, empowered. I get this sense, and this is not necessarily a traditional magician meaning. I get this sense of secrecy. Like, I don't know if we've got a secret plan or some sort of secret desire that we're feeling or working on, but I get this sense from him that he might be working kind of internally or secretly in this creation. So some of you that have ruminations or ideas in your mind that you're feeling that you want to create, by all means do so. Trust your intuition, trust your knowing, your 6th and 7th chakra as you move forward in the creation of it. You don't necessarily have to have anybody's validation or approval to be able to go about getting it. And it feels like you are aware of that or you know that. Let's look at the Rose Oracle. So it's Sophia, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, and destiny. So highly spiritual, I'm just going to say right out of the gate with the magician there, and the divine plan and spiritual wisdom ties into the magician. It is this sort of idea of being connected to the greater whole, the bigger picture. I want to say that our manifestational powers are really strong today. What we focus on or how we focus on it, especially emotionally with the Ace of Cups underpinning this, is key in how we connect in. This Sophia card makes me feel like the cosmos is working with us, right? Or the energies, the universe, however, God, whatever you want to put into it, is working with us. And I think as I'm looking at these two cards, I think of the grounding stone for the week, which is this idea of believe. And that's half of the power of magic, is believing in the possibility, dwelling in the possibility of creation and what we can do and how we can go about doing it. And to me, this feels like we're tapping into that bigger picture wisdom and channeling it in such a way, maybe like I said earlier, secretively, to serve us, to work. It's like we're working in conjunction with the universe rather than feeling like it's working against us or serving us something that we don't want. It's more like we're in the kitchen cooking whatever it is we do want. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Let's look at the clarifiers. We have the 7 of Cups. This can be a little bit of emotional confusion or having one too many choices. Which choice is the right choice? Which choice is the practical choice? Which choice feels right to me? With the Ace of Cups underpinning this, I think that if there is any emotional confusion around a situation, the Ace of Cups will bring that clarity. Aces being the number 1 and the Magician also being card number 1. The answer is truly our own answer, and we have to find that emotionally. We might have to sort through some stuff around it, but I do believe that the 7 of Cups is temporary. It's a card of kind of like reflection, maybe a little bit of being unsure, but when we tap into that creative energy of the Magician and this sort of higher spiritual wisdom of this card, Sophia, I think maybe that could be what potentially helps us to access the reality of the Ace of Cups and the true feeling of what it is we want or desire and the singularity of moving towards that. The next card is the 3 of Wands. Now this is a card of spirit or fire, but the 3 of Wands is always a card of like kind of definitely manifestation. You know, he's standing there looking to the horizon, almost awaiting for his package to arrive, his manifestation to come in. Looking at the bigger picture, believing in the reality of the creation of whatever it is we're trying to create. So there is a strong desire here and a willingness to take action and make it happen. We just kind of need to sort through some of the, I don't know, whether it's other people's confusion or mismatched feelings around the situation or it's our own. We need to sort through it and then get clear and then start looking towards almost like the final outcome and not necessarily worrying ourselves with how we're going to get there. The Magician will kind of instinctively know. And the universe maybe also, you know, or a higher power, whatever, however you want to perceive this Sophia card, will give us indications through signs and synchronicities that'll enable us to kind of see the bigger, greater picture. The last card is the King of Swords. I will take it. The King of Swords is about wisdom, truth, honesty. mental realm, definitely, and thoughts and what we communicate. He is not going to mince words. Wherever this confusion is emotionally in the Seven of Cups, we get clear on it mentally at some point during this day. And from there, that mental clarity also enables us or empowers us to make kind of the executive decisions, the cuts that we need to make, or the actions that we need to take to move forward logically, with intelligence, with our own truth. That truth is our guiding system, if that makes any sense. And I feel like that truth comes to us ultimately emotionally today, maybe first and foremost, and that indicates how we act or react, what we communicate, and what we think as we move forward in the pursuit of this creation, shift, change that is at our doorstep, I want to say. All right, let's look to the grounding stone. And the grounding stone, okay. It's on carnelian. It's got a cat hair on it, which is really nice. It's on carnelian, which I associate with the first chakra, right? Grounding in it. But grounding in miracle. And to me, miracle, yes, it's this sort of thing that didn't seem possible that is possible, but miracle kind of ties nicely with the magician, because the magician makes magic happen, makes things that seem impossible possible. And so grounding in that possibility connects us to a bigger picture. Grounding to the logic and the intelligence and the wisdom of that and the truth of that, like bringing, it's almost like it feels like we need to get out of our own way and find the clarity in our mind and trust in the intuition, our emotions, and the sort of environment around us, the higher powers that be, our spirit guides, our angels, our own sort of spiritual wisdom, and allow that to begin to create the miracles or the magic that the magician can produce. Following those good feelings in the Ace of Cups, rather than following the confusion of the Seven of Cups, is going to be what starts to produce these miracles. Believing that the impossible is possible is really what we need to be grounding in. And remember, the grounding stone for the week is this idea of believe. So believing in miracles, believing in the fact that we can channel, produce, create magic. And I don't say magic in the sense of like unattainable or it's frou-frou or impossible. This is about believing in the possible and somehow assimilating that into our own intellectual wisdom, what we communicate, how we think, and doing that from a state that feels empowered, strong, emotionally connected. Like I said, with the Seven of Cups, we may need to work through some confusion around it, but as we do, and we let that ace pour forth, the miracles or the syncs, the signs, the connectivity, we start to see it, sense it, feel it. That magician's eyes are just peeking out over that card at me, and it just feels like he's saying, like, you know how to do this. You just have to trust, and then you have to set your mind to it and begin to communicate it into existence from a space of truth and authority. It's almost like a demand with that King of Swords there. I hope that makes sense, guys. This feels like a very connected, powerful day for us to set forth plans of which direction we want to head in. So utilize this energy to the best of your ability. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Leave me a question or comment and share the video out. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow to see how this energy transforms and changes. Have a wonderful day. Take care.